Korean culture seems to be everywhere in America nowadays, from films to music and especially food, and that's a good thing. It's part of a years-long, multi-million-dollar effort by the South Korean government.
Close to 2 million foreigners live in South Korea, making up nearly 4% of the entire population. Various cultural events are held to introduce Korean culture.
Korea is a diverse region with different traditions that always leave the rest of the world amazed. In South Korea, you'll find cutting-edge technology and spotless public toilets that clearly show the country's dedication to precision and technological perfection. Meanwhile, North Korea is famous for being mysterious.
North Korea was the weirdest country I had ever visited, and throughout that trip I kept wondering what life was like in the neighboring South Korea, because it used to be exactly the same country just over 60 years ago.
With its isolated regime enforcing bizarre rules and customs worse than you can ever imagine. If you are wondering what makes both sides of Korea so unique, then join us as we explore 15 things that exist only in Korea. Gaming in South Korea. In South Korea, gaming isn't just something people do in their free time.
The pinnacle of a popular sport. For many young South Koreans, online gaming is as important as football in other parts of the world. Professional gamers can earn hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
It's part of daily life. More than half of the population is into online gaming, making the country a global leader in esports. The center of this gaming culture is the PC Bang, places where gamers of all ages gather to play, chat, and compete. With one of the fastest internet in the world, South Korea has turned gaming into a huge industry, worth over 21 trillion Korean won in 2022. Mobile games are popular, and PC players often spend hours on their favorite games. South Korea's gaming scene is a mix of serious competition and casual fun, from packed esports arenas to cozy PC bangs, making it one of the top gaming markets in the world. Keep watching, because what comes next on this list will leave you in awe. Bang. Imagine a place where relaxation, wellness, and culture all come together.
Korean Bang like. For those of you that don't know, this is the Korean spa that is very interesting because you go in there, you basically get naked, you go for baths, showers, you go in these heated baths.
This is the world of Bangs, Korea's famous bathhouses. The experience begins when you leave your clothes behind, but that's just the start. These peaceful spots feature hot and cold pools, saunas, massage rooms, and even shared sleeping areas. Whether you're with family, on a date, or hanging out with friends, Bangs are a beloved tradition for everyone. Not only do they help you unwind, but they also offer health perks like improved circulation, less tension, clearer skin, and even weight loss. A go-to for locals who make self-care a weekly ritual, Bangs are more than just spas. They're a cultural experience that turns pampering into a boost for your well-being. Meerkat Cafe Seoul. In the heart of Seoul's busy Hongdae district, the Meerkat Cafe offers a magical escape into the world of exotic animals.
This place is called a Meerkat Cafe, but they actually have other animals. As you can see, they have a raccoon. And the good thing is you get to touch them too. They also have some dogs playing around.
Forget cat and dog cafes. This enchanting spot brings the Lion King's Timon to life. Once you step into the cafe, you'll be requested to remove your shoes, grab a drink, and step into a soothing space painted in soft hues, which is then completed with cozy cottages and playful toys for the meerkats. These fast-moving, empathetic creatures love to interact, and for about 10 delightful minutes, you can enter their play enclosures. The cafe places their well-being important there by ensuring that no children under 15 are allowed. Staff might even lend you toys to join in the fun, and touching their soft fur is pure joy. With large, selfie-perfect windows and a calming atmosphere, the Meerkat Cafe redefines animal cafes as a nice retreat for animal lovers. Bowing is an important part of Korean etiquette. In Korea, bowing is more than a gesture. It's an important form of etiquette.
The first is that it's a sign of respect. So when you greet people, that are your age or older than you, you're going to go ahead and bow because you're just showing respect to them.
Unlike in the US, where hugs are as common as handshakes for greetings and gratitude, Koreans reserve hugs for close friends, family, or couples. Imagine starting your new job in Korea and greeting everyone with hugs. Instead, a modest bow will save you from awkward glances. Bowing in Korea expresses respect, thanks, and politeness. Forget the American high fives or casual shoulder pats. And shaking hands? Maybe, but only for the boys, don't push it. Master the bow, though. A deep one signals genuine respect, while a light nod works for casual interactions. If you're feeling bold, you might wonder, could you bow and high-five at the same time? Maybe not. Stick to the bow. It's the cultural key to Korean connections. 3 generations of punishment policy. In North Korea, crime casts a long shadow that stretches across generations. Under the kin punishment policy, breaking the law doesn't just mean punishment for the perpetrator. It also involves parents, grandparents, and even children. If the accused escapes capture, their family pays the price instead. This system, rooted in internal Workers' Party protocols, has led to entire families being imprisoned or executed, often without any explanation. Defectors recount harrowing tales of prison camps. Inmates face starvation, torture, and inhumane conditions. Political offenders and their kin are condemned to Kwan-Lee labor camps, where survival itself becomes a hard task. Even loyalty offers no shield because one careless act, like disrespecting a Kim family portrait, can doom your bloodline. This harsh policy, dating back to 1948, enforces obedience through fear and suffering. Stay tuned to find out what comes next. A North Korean computing system and internet. Access to information is heavily controlled in North Korea, and owning a computer is a privilege granted only with government approval.
Having a population of over 26 million, only a few thousand people have access to the internet in the country.
Each device used is registered and treated like a potential weapon. While the internet is not entirely banned, most North Koreans have no access to it. Only a select few in major cities use computers in state-run labs or cyber cafes. The North Korean internet, known as Kwangmyong, resembles an old version of the web from the 1990s, powered by pirated software. It's primarily for government use, propaganda, and a small group of foreign visitors. Citizens can only access fewer than 30 websites, most of which feature government content, tourism info, and North Korean media. International platforms like Facebook and YouTube are blocked, and the country has recently upgraded its network to 4G, although it's still heavily monitored. After-school academics. In South Korea, childhood is less about play and more about preparation. From as early as 3 years old, children are actively involved in academics, learning arithmetic, reading, and even learning foreign languages like Chinese and English. As they grow, afternoons are consumed by hagwons, which are intensive after-school academies and offering extra lessons in math, physics, and music.
A hagwon is a private academy used for educational purposes here. This is one of the most common places for ESL teachers to work at during their stay here.
This pursuit of academic excellence is fueled by fierce competition for university admissions. A typical 12-hour school day is followed by homework, leaving little room for rest. Even weekends are filled with extra classes. By high school, the pressure reaches its peak, with students studying late into the night in cafes. The toll on students is a lot. They become worn-out students with reduced happiness and a grim statistic. South Korea leads in youth suicides globally. While success is prioritized, the cost for it comes with a heavy price. Smart bus stop. Imagine waiting for a bus in a sleek glass cube that feels like stepping into the future. That's what you'll find in Gyeongdong-gu district, where bus stops have become smart shelters designed for both comfort and safety. Over 1.2 million people have already visited these high-tech hubs, and it's easy to see why. They use thermal cameras to check temperatures, allowing only those below 37.5 degrees Celsius inside. Once you step in, it's a tech lover's dream. The air is cool and clean, thanks to advanced air conditioning and UV sterilizers that kill bacteria. Digital screens tell you exactly when your bus is arriving, and there's free Wi-Fi and charging stations to keep you connected. Even the glass is special, blocking out heat to save energy. Built to handle heat waves, rain, and even pandemics, these shelters are a game changer for public transit. Keep watching to see what comes next. Plastic surgery. Seoul has gotten the title of being the plastic surgery capital of the world.
South Korea, a country of about 50 million people, accounted for nearly 1 million of them. It reportedly has the highest rate of plastic surgery per capita,
with a large number of cosmetic procedures performed per capita. In a society with high beauty standards, many Koreans see surgery as a rite of passage, not a taboo. Shockingly, 1 in 3 Korean women under 29 has undergone a procedure, often celebrating milestones like birthdays or graduations. The most popular? Eyelid surgery, creating a defined double eyelid crease. Strolling through Gangnam, it's not uncommon to spot people with post-surgery bandages like badges of honor. For the daring, jawline surgery reshapes entire facial structures. But surgery isn't the only path to perfection. Korea's booming skincare industry, which caters for both men and women, offers countless products promising youthful, glowing skin. In Seoul, beauty is more than skin deep. It's a cultural obsession. Kimchi. Kimchi isn't just food in Korea, it's a way of life. This spicy, tangy, fermented side dish is part of every Korean meal.
Kimchi is alive, and it's a life force, and it's a life itself. It's the most important dish in Korean cuisine, centuries ago and even today.
And it's often credited with the nation's longevity and health. Alongside light soups and perfectly steamed rice, kimchi completes the Korean dining experience. Traditionally, kimchi making was an art. During winter, families fermented vegetables in onji, clay jars buried underground, making sure its taste remains the same through harsh months. This communal process not only preserved food, but also nurtured bonds, especially among women. Surprisingly, early kimchi wasn't spicy. Chili peppers and garlic, which are now essential, didn't appear in recipes until later, transforming kimchi into the fiery dish we know today. Every bite carries history, culture, and a burst of flavor. Whether mild or tongue-tinglingly hot, kimchi isn't just a side dish, it's a symbol of Korean tradition and culinary brilliance. Boryeong Mud Festival. The Boryeong Mud Festival is Korea's biggest invitation to let loose and get messy. Originally launched in the 1990s to promote Boryeong's nutrient-rich mud cosmetics,
millions gather in summer at the city's Daecheon Beach for the now famous Mud Festival. The festival originally started small in 1998 as part of the city's efforts to promote its mud-related businesses.
The festival has grown into one of the country's biggest summer events. Believed to have healing and anti-aging properties, the mud offers more than just fun. It's a natural glow-up for your skin. Visitors from around the world flock to this lively celebration. The mud zone, stretched along Daecheon Beach, hosts thrilling activities like mud wrestling, mud football, and the epic mud superslide. For kids, there's a special play area, while K-pop performances light up the night on a beachside stage. If you go during the festive time, stay the night to fully embrace the festival spirit, concerts, fireworks, and endless fun. Whether you're here for the skincare benefits or the chaos, Boryeong promises an unforgettable mud-soaked adventure. Nasty fertilizer. North Korea's fertilizer shortage has taken a strange turn. With imports from China halted during the pandemic and chemical fertilizer manufacturing crippled by sanctions, farmers have turned to night soil and human feces as a desperate solution. What began as families using their own waste evolved into a peculiar market, with shops openly selling human excrement by 2010. By 2014, Kim Jong-un officially endorsed the practice, urging citizens to use both human and livestock manure to save crops. Despite claims that vegetables grown this way are delicious, the practice poses severe health risks. Intestinal worms and unsanitary conditions have plagued man. Yet with resources scarce and the government prioritizing military spending, North Koreans are left with little choice. State-run media promotes self-made manure, but even that hasn't alleviated the crisis. By June 2022, Kim Jong-un acknowledged that there was a worsening food emergency.
This comes amid reports that the country is sinking deeper into a food crisis.
This isn't the only bizarre thing that goes on in North Korea. Keep watching to find out more. State-selected haircuts and fashion. In North Korea, standing out is not an option, especially when it comes to fashion. The government strictly controls how people dress, banning foreign styles and insisting on modest, loose-fitting clothes that match their socialist way of living. There's even a rumor that citizens are only allowed a handful of approved hairstyles, though no one knows if that's completely true. But some North Koreans are quietly pushing back. In Pyongyang, women are reportedly wearing high heels, short skirts, and bold colors, breaking the state's rigid rules. A black market for South Korean clothes and makeup is thriving, helping to fuel this subtle rebellion. To fight back, the government has what is called fashion police, a women's union with whistles, on the lookout for rule breakers. Still, the streets of Pyongyang are proof that, even under strict control, people find ways to express themselves. K-pop can get you killed. To Kim Jong-un, K-pop isn't just catchy music, it's a vicious cancer threatening to undermine his regime. In North Korea, simply enjoying a South Korean music video could cost you your life. Over the past decade, at least 7 people have been publicly executed for consuming or sharing K-pop content, with the harshest penalties reserved for distributors. Under a 2020 law, possessing South Korean entertainment, whether K-drama or music, is a crime punishable by death. Kim's efforts to stop corrupting influences include targeting Hyesan, a city considered a key gateway for smuggled memory sticks packed with banned content. Despite these harsh measures, South Korea's cultural wave continues to ripple into the north. While the world grooves to K-pop, in Kim's realm, it's a dangerous rebellion, a symbol of freedom in a nation desperately yearning for it. Basketball rules. Basketball in North Korea is a game with a twist, thanks to Kim Jong-un's love for the sport. Inspired by his admiration for Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman, Kim has made sure that the game thrives as much as possible, although with some bizarre rule changes. Slam dunks score 3 points, while a clean three-pointer nets 4. Missing a free throw? That'll cost you a point. The real chaos begins in the final seconds. Baskets made in the last 3 seconds are worth a lot. 8 points, turning the game into a nail-biting frenzy. These unique rules, reportedly initiated by Kim's father, Kim Jong-il, reflect their family's basketball obsession. Internationally, North Korean teams play by standard rules, but domestically, the game is anything but ordinary. Now, for a structure submerged in water for centuries, that was incredible. But you know what was most shocking? The vibrant red and blue wall paintings used to adorn the palace's interior were still intact. But that was just the beginning of the surprises this place held. The team discovered a still in good shape, massive, multi-story building they called the Huge Magazine Building. It was an important storage center for goods and materials traded globally. At this point, the waters started to rise back up, but the archaeologists knew they had made a discovery that would rewrite the story of this long-buried civilization. Just when you thought the wonders of the ancient lost city had been fully uncovered, the archaeological team made an even more incredible discovery: a collection of ceramic vessels with over 100 cuneiform tablets inside of them, many still sealed in their original clay envelopes. What astonished them was how these unfired clay tablets survived decades submerged underwater. Eager to decipher the contents of the tablets, knowing they could unlock remarkable secrets about this ancient world, the researchers carefully examined the tablets, and boy, were they shocked by their thrilling discovery. On one of the tablets was a seal impression belonging to a known historical figure, Gimil Ninkarak, from the ancient city of Turka in Mesopotamia. This connection was a game-changer, as it showed Gimil Ninkarak had played a significant role in creating the document, likely holding a position of authority within the ancient community. Researchers were thrilled at the thought of learning more about this individual and gaining unprecedented insights into the daily life and workings of the lost city. But the more the team studied the tablets, the more they knew they were on the verge of unlocking remarkable secrets about this ancient civilization, and the more unanswered questions they had. Could these cuneiform texts reveal more details about the people who once lived here, their social structures, trade networks, and beliefs? They had to continue their search to find out, and so they did. When the archaeologists uncovered the trove of cuneiform tablets in the submerged ruins of the ancient Mitanni city, they knew they had stumbled upon something extraordinary. But as they dived deeper into deciphering the inscriptions, a remarkable story began to unfold. Unlike the often propaganda-filled historical records, these tablets were like personal diaries, offering an unfiltered glimpse into the city's residents' concerns, struggles, and relationships. But it didn't stop there. The more they searched, the more things unfolded, until they discovered 14 more tablets that referenced Gimil Ninkarak, many of which were found within what appeared to be his residence.
Holding a tablet that was written thousands of years ago and being able to read what it says, it's an amazing feeling.
Not only that, this particular discovery also revealed the lives of less fortunate individuals, like a girl named Guatam, who faced financial and personal hardships. The insights these tablets gave were so detailed that it gave the researchers the rare privilege to peer into even the tiniest details of that 18th century ancient Turkey society and its individuals, a luxury that conventional history couldn't give. It was a stunning revelation, not the grand, sweeping narrative of empires and kings, but the human story of a community struggling to survive and thrive in the face of challenges. Ultimately, this extraordinary find was more than a collection of ancient artifacts. It was a window into the past, a chance to foster a deep connection with those who had long since passed. As the excavation continued, the researchers marveled at the resilience of this ancient civilization, whose structures, ornaments, and now written records had endured the passage of time, and with each new find came an incredible glimpse into a long-lost world. At this point, these excavations were getting more interesting, and the more they dug, the more they were surprised. Guess what their next discovery was? A series of ancient tombs along the banks of the Euphrates, in places like Adıyaman in Turkey and Anbar province in Iraq. And you won't believe what they found in these tombs? These tombs, believed to date back to the Roman period, were filled with fascinating artifacts, pottery, gold jewelry, coins, and even important documents. But the Euphrates had even more to reveal, as just after that, the archaeologists also found an ancient fortress known as Rumkale, or the Golden Castle, located at the point where the Euphrates meets another river, the Murzimin Creek. This impressive structure had seen the rise and fall of countless empires, from the Assyrians and Babylonians to the powerful Armenian kingdom. But you know what? This castle was more special than other discoveries because it blended seamlessly with the surrounding landscape. The cliffs that it was built upon seemed to embrace the fortress, creating a natural and beautiful sight. But that's not all. Sit tight, because the ride got wilder. Who would have thought that this river also had caves hidden in them? You heard that right. As the archaeologists dug further with their full energy, they stumbled upon a series of mysterious caves of irregular shapes and precise construction hidden beneath the water's surface, and what they found inside was terrifying. First, they discovered ancient scripts of an unknown language and walls adorned with beautiful cave paintings and symbols and imagery that were unlike anything they had ever seen. But this was nothing close to their next discovery. In a terrifying turn of events that would make these archaeologists pee in their pants, terrifying echoes, groans, and growls began to come from the caves. At one point, some people even claimed to have heard the unsettling sound of chains rattling, as if some unseen entity, who some claimed to be the four fallen angels, whom the Bible in the book of Revelation chapter 9 verse 14 said were captured and held captive, and in due time will be released to wipe out the human population, was staring right at them from the pitch darkness of the cave.
Have you heard about the creepy sounds coming from the secret tunnel under the Euphrates River? After a portion of the river dried up, expeditions led to the discovery of a tunnel that went deep into the earth. And these are the sounds that are said to be heard.
With each discovery, the stakes grew higher, and the team found themselves torn between the thrill of unlocking ancient secrets and the growing sense of dread that something sinister lurked within the shadows of the Euphrates caves. As scary as these experiences were, the researchers ventured into some of these caves, and this time, what they found was earth-shattering. Remember, before now, they had only seen remnants of the Mitanni and Roman empires, but as they went deeper, they made another significant discovery: the remnants of the ancient Sumerians, Babylonians, and Assyrians, alongside a trove of figurines and ritual objects, which provided valuable insights into the religious practices of these cultures. For a water body of that magnitude, these discoveries were unmistakably the most significant chilling ever seen for millennials, but not as mind-shifting as the implications its dry-up will have on the human race. Implications of the Euphrates River dry-up. If you think the tensions with the neighboring communities against themselves in a bid to gain absolute dominance is devastating, wait till you hear Joe Rogan said will be the implications this event will have on our world, according to records in the Bible and Hadith. The biblical book of Revelation mentions the drying up of the Euphrates River. Some Christians see it as a significant prophetic event that will occur before the return of Christ and the end of the world as we know it. In the 9th chapter of the book of Revelation, we learn that 4 angels have been bound at the great river Euphrates, Revelation 9:14, waiting to be released, and when they are, they will lead a vast and destructive army. However, the most significant moment would come in chapter 16, when the 6th plague is poured out, causing the Euphrates to dry up completely. This may seem like an innocuous event, but the implications are far-reaching. You see, the drying of the Euphrates is seen as a sign that the way might be prepared for the kings from the east, Revelation 16:12, a reference to the gathering of the armies of the world for the ultimate battle, the one we know as Armageddon. So, in the eyes of those who believe in the literal interpretation of the book of Revelation, the Euphrates River is no mere waterway. It is a gateway, a barrier holding back the forces of darkness until the appointed time. And when that barrier is breached, either through the release of the angels or the drying up of the river, it signals the unleashing of the apocalyptic forces that will culminate in the showdown between good and evil. But here's where the plot thickens. The Islamic hadiths, or traditional teachings, also speak of the Euphrates River playing a pivotal role in the end times, and their predictions are more harrowing. In the Islamic faith, some hadiths talk about what will happen to the Euphrates River before the world ends. These hadiths are the words and teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, and they're taken very seriously by Muslims. One of the most famous hadiths, narrated by Imran bin Hussein, says that the Euphrates River is going to uncover some treasure, and when that happens, anyone who is there at the time should not take any of it, as that's going to be a sign that the end of the world is here. Still, in Islam, another one says that the Euphrates River will dry up completely, and when that happens, it will reveal a whole bunch of gold. But just like the other hadiths, it warns people not to try and take any of that gold, because it will be a sign that the world is about to end. But the most terrifying was the hadith, which said the Euphrates River would uncover a giant mountain of gold. But the really scary part is where the hadith said that the presence of this gold will lead to a huge catastrophe where people will start fighting, and 99 out of every 100 people who are there will end up dying in the fighting. That's a very scary thing to say, but these things were not just written for fancy. The fact that the hadith had to clearly mention it not once, not twice, but 3 whole times shows how important it is and the gravity of the situation. Though clear and straight to the point, some religious scholars had to look at these old sayings and tried to figure out what they meant. To some, the hadith about gold being uncovered and the Euphrates River drying up are supposed to be taken literally. These events will happen before the end of the world. But to others, the gold and the drying river represent the temptation of wealth and how it can corrupt people, leading to conflict and trouble in society. But it's quite concerning how a river, which has been a blessing to many, the bedrock of civilizations and the foundation upon which many empires were built, has suddenly become something to be wary of. Since those prophecies were made, religious folks have sought fulfillment. The first half of the prophecy about the drying up of the river has been fulfilled, leaving the scary question of, what next, on the lips of many. Are we in the end times? Has the mountain of gold finally been found? Going back in time, we know there used to be gold mines near the Euphrates that provided gold for big empires like the Assyrians and Babylonians. But these mines weren't directly connected to the river. They were just nearby. Fast forward to now, some small-scale gold mining is happening in the Euphrates River, especially in eastern Syria. The local people use simple tools to dig some gold from the riverbed. However, the geology experts cautioned against getting too excited, as this doesn't necessarily mean huge gold deposits are hidden in the river. According to them, the gold that's being found is probably just coming from the natural erosion of gold-bearing rocks in the area around the river, as the major gold deposits don't tend to build up in riverbeds, since the heavy gold particles usually sink into the bedrock instead of getting carried downstream. With this uncovered, are we still in sync with the unfoldings of the biblical prophecies? Will there be an emergence of a mountain of gold? If you have any thoughts to air as regards this matter, kindly do so in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Shalom.